Hello everybody and welcome back to A Royal Reader. My name is Cici and today we're going to be doing my bookshelf reorganization slash bookshelf tour. So I decided that I was going to move my bookshelves into a different room within my apartment, and then obviously I rearranged everything because I have a whole bunch of new books and I wasn't liking the layout that I had them in, so I just rearranged everything. It took me 2 days, I think, to do it. There are a couple of shelves that I am not entirely happy with, but for the most part, this is what it all looks like. So let's go. So starting off with the very top of the bookshelf, I have all of my Cassandra Clare books that I currently own. She has far too many for me to try and fit on like just one small shelf, so she gets half of the big shelf, and then obviously once I get the other trilogy that she's now done, that is before the Infernal Devices, it'll go at the front here. At the end of it, I obviously have the 2 short story collections, and then I have a copy of A Song of Wraith and Ruin, And then I've got Kingdom of Souls and Dark Rise by C.S. Cat. This is a new creation that I have done with this recent bookshelf organization. I'm calling this like my Greek shelf. So I've mainly got like my Greek inspired books, like Hades and Persephone inspired, which is these four. I've got Lovely War, and then I've got Ariadne and Electra. And then I also, just to the side here, I've got the very first copy of A Song of Achilles, and then two very beaten up copies of the Odyssey and the Iliad, a more recent version of the Song of Achilles, and then I have the Penelopead, which is written by Margaret Atwood, and this is a story about Penelope, who is Odysseus's wife. And I had to read this for one of my classes. So yeah. On this last shelf here, I have what I'm calling my paranormal shelf. So this one has got like stuff about witches or ghosts or any spooky ooky things. So obviously we've got the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy. I've got the Lady Helen and the Dark Days Club, which is like ghosts and stuff. Court of the Vampire Queen. The first two books in the Beautiful series by Renee Ahdieh. Obviously Night House and Hellbent. Belladonna. Only a Monster. All of Us Villains. The Ravens, which is a witchy book. Wild Wicked Things. And then the Diviners Quartet by Oliver Bray. Moving down, this is honestly one of my favorite shelves. This is what I like to call my black, red, silver, gold shelf. So obviously we've got all of the most recent books anyway for the Plated Prisoner series by Raven Kennedy. The 5th one comes out I think later on this year. So that'll be added to this collection. Then we have 4th Wing in its beautiful gold glory. Then obviously the Serpent and Dove trilogy, Lightlark, The Shadows Between Us, which I really enjoyed. And then the Imperium, I think is what this one's called. The first book in the Imperium trilogy. And then obviously we've got this little Jabberwock style thing, which I thought was quite fitting considering as it's like dragons and stuff, you know. So in this one I decided to keep the series that I have completed. So I've got my Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy there. We've got the Amber and the Ashes. I actually don't know what this series is called, if it is actually called the series in the Ashes, an Amber and the Ashes. So I've got those ones there, and then I've got the Kiss of Deception series. I think that actually has a different name. Let me have a look. I really enjoyed this. Okay, so it's called The Remnant Chronicles. So I've got all 3 books there. Really enjoyed that book. I still need to finish off the rest of them. And then I have Twin Crowns just here. I've just recently bought the 2nd book in the series, so that will go there if it fits. Then this one here is my first of the Sarah J Maas shelves plus extra. So here we've obviously got, what is this? I think this is, okay, so this is my paperback copy. So this is my paperback copy that I have of Crescent City #1. I wanted to display it with all the tabs out because it didn't fit very nicely there. Then we've got the ACOTAR series and then the Crescent City series. This is House of Sky and Breath with all of its tabs. And I did it like this because obviously this is not the same size as this. I've got my little Vax mini there. I figured he looked kind of nice because he fits everything there. And then we've got this little book nook that my boyfriend made for me for Christmas. He had a very hard time doing it, but I love him anyway for making it. It's absolutely beautiful. Then we've got the these Hollow Vowels and these Twisted Bonds duology. And then I've got 2 omnibuses of 2 series. So this is the Lachlan Treaty completed series. that I got at Babe, and this is the Seraphim Academy that I got at Babe as well. These books are extremely heavy and very big, but they have at least like I think 4 books in the one, so yeah. Now this is one of my most prized possessions. We have the Throne of Glass shelf, so I am collecting the hardcovers for these, and it's something that my friend Charlie and I are doing. She's gifting me a hardback for my birthday and for Christmas, and I get her a hard copy of the Six of Crows series. So I've got these in the paperback, hardbacks, that's what I was trying to say. I have this one in hardback instead of like the next book in the series because my mum actually bought this for me, not realising that I was collecting them in the paperbacks first. I got this from my partner, my lovely boyfriend. It is just 2 little swans making a love heart. And he got this for me because I told him one day that swans mate for life, and so he got that and said it was us. Moving on to the next shelf, this is another one of my, this is all completed shelf. So we've got the Bone Cries Moon duology here. We've got the Raven Cycle here. Favorite books ever. Got book 1 and 2 of the Dreamer trilogy. I still have to get the 3rd book. And then we've got Strange the Dreamers trilogy just there. I still need to read this. Here we have what I basically like to call is my YA shelf. We've got We Hunt the Flame, and then we've got the Gilded Wolves. I can't remember what book series this is, what that's called. But I've got the first and second book in that series. This Woven Kingdom. I've got the Shadow of the Fox trilogy here by Julie Kagawa. I have yet to read this, which is rather sacrilege of me because Julie Kagawa was honestly one of my favourite authors when I was growing up. And it's horrible that I have not read any of her books yet. And then obviously we've got The Wrath and the Dawn and the Brazen Dagger by Renee Ahdieh. Then we move on to some more fantasy. We've got Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova. I pronounced that absolutely shockingly and I do apologise. The Bone Witch trilogy, which I still have not completed, but I've heard amazing things about it, so I need to definitely go into that. The Flame in the Mist duology, which I've heard is kind of like Mulan-esque, I think. I've got the first 2 books in the Graceling series by Kristen Kashaw. My partner got this for me for, I think it was my birthday, I'm not too sure. And then we've got the first 2 books in the Legendborn series by Tracy Dion. So I just had that displayed there because I think it's a very, very pretty cover. Alright, so this shelf here is what I like to call my red and white shelf. Red, white, and black shelf, honestly. So it's got mainly all adult fantasy. Just move Daenerys up there for a second. From a thrift store. Couldn't find the second book, but they had this one and it was in pretty good condition, so I just got it. Then I've got a whole bunch of Orbit books, which I thought was actually pretty cool. I got these 2 at the Lifeline Book Fest, which I thought was pretty damn good. Got 2 hardcovers here of the Ishwab, which was Vicious and Vengeful. I still have not finished Vengeful. I'm like halfway through it. So yeah, this book has some pretty bad sun damage on it, which is unfortunate, but you know, that's what happens. Then I have all of my V.E. Schwab books. I can just say that V.E. Schwab's like designer team or whatever are freaking genius for making sure that all of her books, apart from Addie LaRue, all match. I absolutely love that. So I've got all of those books there. I do need to get rid of this one, which is upside down. Then at the end there, I've got my trilogy of Nevernight. I am trying to find these illustrated editions of them because I don't like the like graphic designed ones. I don't like these ones. I just don't like them, so I am trying to find these ones, but they're like $50 for the paperback on Amazon, so Oh, it is annoying. Why did I get this one if I don't like the cover? Honestly, it was so that I could just attempt to finish it this year because I really want to try and finish off a bunch of series this year. Alrighty, next shelf. This is just a mix of adult fantasy. So I've got the first 2 books in the Realm Breaker series by Victoria Aveyard. Then some not standalones, but like the first books in a couple of series. 5th season. I did also pick this one up at the Lifeline Book Fest. This is the 2nd book in the Queen of the Tealing series. This was only $8, which is why I got it. And here we have my adult fantasy shelf. So starting off, we've got The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. This is just book 1, separated into book 1, part 1 and book 1, part 2. A omnibus of the Inheritance trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. Empire of the Iron Tree, which I am still attempting to read. Empire of the Vampire, which I just love this cover. So, yeah. The Poppy War, obviously. I've got the first 2 books in the Chorus of Dragons series. Does this annoy me with the fact that this and this do not match? Yes. Yes, it does. Same with this, and with this. Yes. Alright, so I call this my sci-fi shelf because I don't read a lot of sci-fi. This is just basically all the sci-fi I have. J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman, the best people to ever write sci-fi. YA sci-fi. And then we move on to some more adult sci-fi with Brandon Sanderson, James A. Corey, Samantha Shannon, Pierce Brown. Oh, he's not going to stay there, C-3PO. Stay. And then obviously, go Brandon Sanderson again. The book on the end here is a sort of like X-Men sci-fi reverse harem. Yeah. This is what I'd like to call like my horror / mystery shelf. So we've got like horror-y, mystery, like Truly Devious, Good Girls Guide to Murder, Mr. Stephen King, Secret History, all that type of stuff. I don't know if Her Majesty's Royal Coven is like horror-y. I think it might be more witchy. So I might have to move that up, but it just doesn't fit with the rest of them because it's bright pink. What's left over of my YA fantasy with a mix of like pretty prose fantasy-esque, and then we've got my Hiya, from here to here. We've got my you can't even see there, my Asian authors there. Yes, I don't really like this shelf. The colours just don't match for me, and it bugs me. On the bottom we have all of my classics that I have had to purchase because of university, and then I drop out of university and I no longer need to read them, which is unfortunate, but you know, life goes on. And then we've got like my slightly like my 2 like stuff that doesn't fit anywhere, which is Alone with You in the Ether and Before the Coffee Gets Cold. These are just books that like I've been interested in, but because it's not in the main genre that I read from, I don't pick it up. But I decided that I wanted to buy them anyway, and this was really the only place that I could think of to put them, so yeah. Got some other fancy books and stuff that I'm like, you know, not really interested in. Evelyn Hugo, Addie LaRue, and then 2 random like contemporary books that I am probably never going to read, but you know, it's always good to have them there. This is what I'd like to call my classic YA shelf, because obviously we've got Shadow and Bone, Six of Crows, which does not fit here, and it's bugging me to no end. I got this for $40. And then 3 random books here. Don't really know what to do with them. Honestly, these last couple of shelves I don't know what to do with. Mix of YA fantasy stuff, and then the rest is my middle grade stuff. So obviously Percy Jackson stuff, and then Amara and the Night Brothers, Nevermore, Golden Compass, His Dark Materials. Yes. Alrighty, so after the mess that was, I hope you guys have enjoyed that. It takes a long while. It takes a long while to film a bookshelf tour. And I don't have that many like special editions or anything like that, so that's the reason why I didn't like pull them all off the shelves. So if you guys do want like an in-depth look, I guess you could go and check out my unread physical TBR, because honestly, that's most of the books I have on my shelves. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Let me know if you guys have any books that I show that you definitely want me to read sooner rather than later. I'm trying to make my way through at least 20 books on my physical TBR before the end of the year. So let me know which ones I should prioritize. That is it for this video. So I will see you guys in another one later on.